Ozarks in 5, brought to you by Adventure Cave Tours. Live a day in the life of a real adventurer with Adventure Cave Tours. Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Blue Current, moving you forward since 1929. Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good morning to you. It's Wednesday. Hope your week is going well so far. We still got a little time left. And we're thankful that you're here with us on a Wednesday morning. So let's begin with some news.
All right. A man wanted from Mississippi was arrested in Springfield this week. Springfield police got a report about his whereabouts and arrested him near Sunshine and Grant. The man was wanted for assaulting a police officer in Olive Branch, Mississippi. But again, he was found here. He was arrested without incident.
Yeah, and apparently that was a pretty serious deal down in Mississippi. He is accused of shooting at least one police officer. I don't think anybody was hit. So police here, that's a call that you take pretty seriously. You show up in force whenever somebody you think is already shot at a police officer. So thankfully they were able to arrest him without anything else happening.
Wow. This next story making national headlines, really. A senior at Mizzou who is from Springfield, actually, is missing in Nashville, Tennessee. On Friday night, after a night out with friends, Riley Strain was overserved alcohol at a bar. He left there, told his friends he was going back to his hotel, but come Saturday morning, they realized he never made it. Police say they pinged a cell phone 45 minutes in the opposite direction of their hotel, and now there's no longer location data being given off, so they don't know where he is. Riley Strain is 22 years old. He had talked to his mom. He had FaceTime with her earlier in the day. She said there was nothing, absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. Family, friends, police left Springfield, many of them searching in earnest. We're told that he is 6'6", meaning he's very tall, hard to miss, 160 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. And if anyone has any information, you are asked to call Nashville police.
Wow, 6'6", 160. He's very skinny as well, very tall and skinny.
Yeah, I was looking at his pictures. He's 22. He's a senior at Mizzou, but studying business, and I don't know, just seems like a all-around guy on his. I mean, I literally only know him from his picture, but it's so shocking, especially for a man, like a grown man that size.
Well, I know police in Nashville released video of him leaving the bar, I believe, the last video that they have of him. So it is, man, you feel for those parents and friends because that's a scary situation for sure.
Yeah, the timestamp on that, I believe, was 9:47 p.m. Friday night. They pinged a cell phone around 10:15 Friday night, 45 minutes away from his hotel, and then there was no more data.
That was it. Yeah, man. Okay. The fire chief with the Eminence Volunteer Fire Department says there was not a cause released on what started that fire that destroyed the fire department there in Eminence, the firehouse destroyed by fire. The fire burned too hot for them to figure out how it started. That happened 8 days ago. Investigators have listed it as undetermined cause. They lost everything, including multiple fire engines and trucks. The good news is other fire departments from around the country are really chipping in to help. Several departments from as far away as New York have donated, at this point, 6 fire trucks to that department, as well as other vital firefighting equipment, which is huge. So it's the very heartwarming twist to a very sad story. I mean, a very discouraging story. You're a volunteer fire department and you lose everything in a fire, including all your trucks. That's tough to come back from. But firefighters are a tough bunch, and it's a brotherhood. So they are joining the brotherhood from across the country, and they're chipping in to help, which is super cool. Super cool. And there's probably more of those trucks to come, I would think. Greene County Sheriff's Department says beware of scammers. Once again, scammers are calling people pretending to be deputies with the Sheriff's Department or court officials, and they're asking for money or asking about jury duty or warrants. Greene County says that's not how they operate. They don't do it that way. So it's a scammer trying to get your financial information. So if you're called by somebody claiming that, hang up. And if you have actual questions about whether that's true, call the Greene County Sheriff's Department and find out if they were calling you.
Right. Hang up and call them. All right. Lebanon has a new police chief. Jerry Harrison is taking over the top role in April. Before this, Harrison was police chief in Independence, Kansas for 7 years. He's been in law enforcement for a total of 26. He also attended both Missouri Southern State University and Missouri State University to get his master's. So he's got some experience in the Ozarks, which is great.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him and to the city. All right, this is interesting. A Republican state senator from Ash Grove is hoping to challenge the U.S. Supreme Court. Under a new legislation proposed by Mike Moon, the state would add child sex trafficking and statutory rape to the crimes eligible for the death penalty. Now, it's written specific to rape of children under 14 and sex trafficking of children under 12. So in 2008, there was a court precedent at the Supreme Court level that ruled that giving the death penalty to those convicted of child rape violates the Constitution's ban on cruel and unusual punishment unless the crime results in death or is at least intended to. So again, the court precedent has been set, but Senator Moon says it is worth challenging.
Interesting. We'll see what happens there for sure. This might soon be law in Missouri that all workers are guaranteed a lunch break. A proposed bill in the state legislature right now would require employers to offer a meal period of at least 30 minutes per 8-hour shift. Right now, lunch breaks, or the lack thereof, I guess you could say in some cases, are at the discretion of employers. So you're not guaranteed one. The language of the bill says employers would have to give a break in the middle of a workday for the purpose of permitting employees to eat or engage in permitted personal activities. So you get a break from work. If it becomes law, right now it's being considered by the legislature in Missouri, companies could be fined anywhere from $300 to $1,200 per violation. So that could add up real quick.
Yeah. I don't like it.
You what?
I don't like it personally.
You don't like it?
No.
Okay.
Like, let the employer decide, because there are some businesses that the employee would rather work through lunch and get their stuff completed because it's a job of completion for the day. And then they could maybe leave 30 minutes early, or just, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there could be a million reasons. Like, even in news, you're on a tight deadline. Like, there are days where you just simply don't really have time for a lunch break. And I don't think you go into the certain professions assuming you're going to get a lunch break. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like the employee or employer discretion, because employers are not idiots. So let them be.
Well, and the employee can decide whether or not to work someplace if they want to. They either understand that and are okay with it, or they don't work there.
Right.
So you don't like the idea of the government mandating it. Gotcha.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like you have a choice to go work elsewhere. You know?
All right. Yeah.
I used to hate when they would be like, clock out, make sure you clock out. And I'm like, I will absolutely clock out if there's time in the day to do so. The problem is there's not always. And I just need to get my stuff done. Right. And then I'll clock out. Like, it says also in the middle of the day, like sometimes that's like 4 p.m. by the time you feel like you're wrapped up. You know what I mean? So that's not the middle of the day. There's too many definitions. I don't like it. Anyway, I'm also not a lawmaker. I am, however, a voter. So we shall see. All right, now to this. Consumer prices are still no good. Inflation is up once again. The Federal Reserve and the Biden administration, for that matter, were hoping for it to ease, but the Labor Department says nope. Prices rose 0.4% from January to February, higher than the previous month's figure of 0.3%. The Labor Department says excluding volatile food and energy prices, so-called core prices, climbed by 0.4%. Which is matching the previous month's rise and a faster pace than what the feds were thinking it would be. They also say, which we've told you before, core inflation apparently is actually watched closer because it provides a better picture of where inflation is headed.
Well, I know gas prices are up and food prices. Man, I just don't know that any of that stuff's ever going to come down. I think we're stuck think we're stuck there. With
Yeah.
high prices for lunch. We were talking about that yesterday. At least $10 for lunch anywhere you go. And it didn't used to be like that. And then grocery store prices are crazy.
Yeah. I filled up yesterday and it was insanely high.
Yeah.
But all right. So this is an interesting story from the New York Times. I'm just going to read you a little portion of it. But apparently your driving habits are not private like you thought they were, because there are car companies, if they are internet-based cars, like connected to a computer, which, let's be honest, most of them are these days, except for maybe our older cars. I don't know. One of the two, at least. Anyway, they are apparently reporting your driving data, like how fast you go, how hard you brake, to LexisNexis. And so customers kind of got wind of this and they said, why is my insurance rate going up so much? Like 21% in some cases. And there was actually an insurance company who said, oh, you should check your LexisNexis report because it's showing you are not a great driver and a little bit reckless in your pursuit. And so anyway, it's just you can read the whole article on the New York Times, but I thought it was fascinating because there are just some things that you think are private, but they are not.
No, and isn't that how it always goes? You're told one thing at the beginning. Oh yeah, no, this is fine. No, we would never. And then, sure enough, later we find out they've been doing that all along.
Yeah.
So,
well, and it
yeah,
was interesting because some of them, like GM specifically, acted like you could opt out of that. But then there were like several drivers who the reporter interviewed and said, no, I thought I had opted out, but now I'm seeing this on my LexisNexis report. So therefore, apparently it like didn't take or whatever, I don't know. It's going to be interesting because could be privacy tracking is a problem if it's not, I guess disclosed.
Well, I was trying to figure out because I read some of that story myself, and I was trying to figure out if it was only if you are using a service like OnStar or Smart Driver that come in the vehicles. We have OnStar in our car. We don't use it, but does that mean OnStar isn't still spying on us and turning in our information?
No, that is what it says, because at least according, the company didn't say this, but drivers reported not using OnStar, yet getting a hold of their LexisNexis report and seeing information on there. So I'm not saying GM is being like dishonest. I mean, I don't know, but it's just at this point, it's he said, she said, but the water is still muddy. So
right, yeah, and when everything's connected to the internet, which it is now, it's easy to share that information. That's for sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
well, this is something. Barry Manilow, the great Barry Manilow, is coming to Springfield for a concert this summer. He says it's going to be his last time. It'll be at Great Southern Bank Arena because you need a big arena if you're Barry Manilow. It's going to be on Saturday, August 24th, and tickets go on sale Friday morning. You can go to greatsouthernbankarena.com to get tickets. 10 o'clock in the a.m. on Friday. The 80-year-old Barry Manilow has sold more than 85 million albums worldwide. And I know that, I guess this is another worldwide tour, maybe a national tour. I'm not sure which, but he had been at residency in Las Vegas for quite some time, which a lot of artists are starting to do now. It's not like the Wayne Newtons, although I think he still has residency, but it's more big name current bands that and groups and singers that are having residency. Celine Dion, Lady Gaga, I think all of them, or Adele. I don't know about Lady Gaga, but anyway, Barry Manilow had a residency in Las Vegas. Now he's going back on tour, which I think would be more difficult than just a residency, because in residency, you live there, you stay there, you just go to work at night, show up at 7 o'clock, do your concert and go home. A tour is something different because you're traveling in a bus, probably. Yeah. Maybe he's flying. I don't know. But
I feel like I'm skewed because I just got back from Africa with an 81-year-old and he could run circles around me. So there's that. I don't know about Barry Manilow,
Well, I mean, no matter who it is, it's a grueling grind is what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's interesting that because he can make good money in Las Vegas just hanging out, performing every night. But there must be something about him wanting to go on the road one more time relive the glory days. Maybe I don't
Yeah.
know, but good
I
for
can't
him,
decide
Barry
if
Manilow.
I am misinformed or if I remember you in a picture with Barry Manilow. Did you go to a Barry Manilow concert?
I
Do
did
you have a
not.
picture of Barry Manilow? Okay.
No,
I don't know who I'm thinking of, but
not me.
um I don't know. I
I
don't know
like
who it
Barry
was, but it
Manilow.
was it was
Oh,
someone from
Mandy,
yesteryear.
you came and you gave without taking,
All right.
and I
So right
sent
before
you
we go,
away. Oh, Mandy.
Ethan's a great singer, but let me tell you this too. He actually is a really good singer, by the way. So we have a new community calendar sponsor. We told you last night, Springfield Special Products. Yay! Thank you so much. They are a new sponsor of the community calendar that you can find at
Yep.
aroundtheozarks.com. Also, check it out on our app because there is so much on there. There's
Yeah.
so many different events. A lady named Taylor, who's pretty great, and Grace, they compile all these things. And then also you can add and submit your own event. And if you go look right this moment, there are about 10 options for Saturday alone in the Springfield area going on. I mean, stuff for all shapes and sizes. So anyway, we just want to say thank you to the sponsor of that, Springfield Special Products, and to our coworkers for kind of getting that all together.
Yeah, I love the calendar. I check it out more than once a week just to see what's going on and see what we can talk about here on Around the Ozarks. So all you have to do is go to aroundtheozarks.com and you'll click on the calendar and you'll see what events are happening near us coming up very soon.
Yes. All right. I am going back to bed. I don't feel great. So
yeah, you don't.
Everybody get well. Don't worry. I'm in my own home, so I'm not going to infect anybody. But
and I'm in the basement where I will stay because I don't want to get it.
What? That sounds so mean.
You're on your own.
Okay.
Soup's
all
in
right.
the kitchen.
We'll see you tomorrow morning. And if I'm not here, you'll know why. All right. Bye.
Bye.